Smooth terrain, sunny blue skies, and pedestrian bridges with crosswalks underneath. This city's got it all. Welcome to Skellytown. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we are here back in Skellytown for part 2 of our Let's Play series. I just wanted to start this off by saying thank you so much for 3 subscribers. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but I posted the video at the time of recording a couple days ago, and I was honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I was so excited to see that it even got the number of views that it did, and then I got 3 subscribers. I know that that's not much, but thank you so much to those of you who watched the video and who subscribed. That's really exciting to me. So for today's episode, what I think we're going to do is we're going to detail this Emerson Peak neighborhood, try to get it a little bit denser, especially here in these grassy patches, add some trees, make it a little bit more interesting to look at. And then I would also like to build up our commercial and industrial parts of the city, potentially do some detailing in those areas as well. So for starters, when I was editing last week's episode, I did notice this pedestrian crosswalk right underneath my pedestrian bridge, and that doesn't make sense. So we're just going to start off by going ahead and removing that crosswalk, because the reason for that bridge being there is that we don't want people crossing this from this street. So we are going to just go ahead and remove that. And if they want to get to this side, they can just cross over here. Okay, so now we're going to just get started with detailing this little area. I think I'm just going to time lapse and then we'll be back. Okay, so I think that's good for now in terms of the decorating. As you can see, I added a bunch of trees in this area just to make it feel a bit more lush. Obviously, there's still some edits that can be done over here. We'll get to that when it comes to that. For now, we're just going to leave it, and we're going to just let this play for a minute. And I think add a few industrial buildings over here to decrease some of that demand. Now it looks like we are losing money. Let's decrease that industrial taxation a bit. We don't have... You know what? No. Let's increase it. Maybe reduce some of that demand briefly and get us some more money for the time being. And our people are complaining due to the high crime risk. I don't know why you're so upset about that, because we clearly have this beautiful police station with a bunch of cars patrolling. Let's just take a look at what's going on here. Alright, so it looks like some of these buildings do have pretty high crime probability. Right, okay. Well, I don't really know how to reduce that right now. I suppose we could potentially increase our police funding. What's our police funding at? It's at 100%. Let's just increase the budget for that ever so slightly. And people are complaining about the healthcare, but they're happy about education. So let's just bring that down a bit. Let's bring down this. Let's bring down this. Right, so now we've altered some of our funding, and it looks like we are starting to get some more money. We should really consider generating our own electricity, because it looks like our imported costs are much higher than I had initially anticipated. Right now we're spending about $70,000 a month importing electricity for our citizens, which we could just be generating it ourselves for the city and potentially selling it to outside cities. And I would honestly like to, I think, redo some of the housing over here. I think some of the low density houses are much too large. I'm not sure that everyone here can actually afford to move into this. And my idea for this little area was that this was going to be a bit more of a lower cost neighborhood as opposed to, what is this? Emerson Peak. So we're just gonna let these houses build up. We're gonna let the remaining houses be destroyed. I think we're going to add a little parking lot right here. Do I have, no. Okay, well, we're going to have to wait, but we will eventually add a little parking lot right there. And I think that just using smaller units, we could potentially add some more road infrastructure, but I think that using smaller units makes this area feel simpler and feel a bit more low income, which there's nothing wrong with being low income, but I do want there to be a slight disparity between these two neighborhoods, if that makes sense. Maybe this is a bit more affordable, young families, and this is for more established citizens. I do love how I said this is the higher income area and these people's wealth is wretched and poor and poor. Wow, all these people are quite poor. I don't know what to tell you guys, honestly. And oh wow, there's already some more housing demand, so let's fill in the rest of this, I suppose. Okay, awesome. We now have the gravity separation unit. Sure, man. So I did place quite a few housing plots. I hope that that is able to sustain us for now. It's looking like potentially no. Okay, okay. Oh my god, all over again. We're doing this again, hey? So let's actually go ahead and place our new industrial building somewhere. You know, I don't even care. I might just overlap with all that stuff right there. Oh, how beautiful. And I think that I'm going to do just some light decorating kind of in this industrial area now. Now that wasn't exactly necessary, but I feel like it does make the area just feel a bit more, it feels a bit fuller, it feels a bit more realistic. As you're kind of coming through here, you can see the trees. This feels a bit more like a city. It looks like once again, we have so much housing demand at the moment, so we might just go ahead and add a little alley. Let's add this one-way parking angled kind of road, and we're just gonna go like this. And just remove the crosswalk because we don't want people crossing here. We don't need to cross everywhere. And it appears that is starting to alleviate some of our medium density, all of our medium density demand. I would like to improve our commercial demand. So let's just lower the taxes on that right now and even increase the taxes on our industrial demand because that didn't seem to take much of a hit from our tax increase. So let's do that, and then we'll lower our office taxes as well, just in an attempt to entice businesses to come to our town and want to settle here. Ultimately, it just is going to lead to more money once we raise those taxes back up. Now, that's looking pretty good so far. How are our businesses doing? The hotel seems to be thriving, so that's great. How about you guys? Alright, so overall, oh, now we have the 5-star hotel. We're just gonna hold off on that for a minute. As I had mentioned in the last video, I do want to put the 5-star hotel over here. I think this section will be where, oh, another thing, yay. I think this section will be kind of, this little patch of land is going to predominantly contain higher density buildings once we unlock those, but for now, we might put a neighborhood here. Let's actually get started on creating districts. A district for our new neighborhood, maybe this little area here too, the little service area, and our office park. I can see here that my people are complaining due to a lack of entertainment. Let's just get some parks in here to make these people happy, and, you know, so that they stop complaining. Okay, that should hopefully fix the problem, and now everyone is complaining about the internet. It seems like no matter what we do, we can't get a break from these people. They're always complaining, they always have an issue with something. I think we'll place it fairly central right there. And once again, our housing demand, it never seems to stop. We're gonna go ahead, we're going to add some more medium density houses in this little strip area. Now that will take care of itself, and we did unlock the television production studio. I'm gonna place this right there, and we can unlock parking areas. And we're going to place a parking area right next to the television studio because it is quite large, and this will allow workers to park and then they can just walk into the office. Looks like we are losing. Well, how are we losing all this money? We need to, I believe, raise our office and commercial taxes once again to hopefully balance out our finances here. We're getting close. Let's lower our communications budget some more. Honestly, let's lower our police force budget. We maybe don't need 100% there. Perfect. So that brings us back up into the green. People are complaining about high taxes and unreliable healthcare, but that's not the end of the world. At least we are making some money now. And looking at our demand, it seems that there's a high unemployment rate. How high is our unemployment rate? Wow, we nearly have a 40% unemployment rate. I think we may actually need to consider building a high school here in our city so that we can have just a higher level of education for our students here. We'll put the high school right there. And we'll also place a little parking area for staff and the students attending the school. I hope that that's okay. Oh no, we're back in the... Oh! Boost the office and commercial tax rate a little bit higher. That has resolved our problems slightly to alleviate this industry demand and hopefully help us gain more money from taxes. I'm going to add some additional industrial buildings to this area. Boy, do I really not care about leveling this terrain at all. We're just gonna roll with it. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And oh my gosh, there's been a crime. I wish it would tell me what crime was committed. I would love to know. Was there a murder? Were they robbed? What happened here? All I know is that a crime has been committed, but I would love to know what that crime is. Oh wow, and look at that. We have some more medium density housing demand. That's perfect. So let's continue to fill in this little strip right here, this little side over here, and I'm just really hoping that we'll be able to get enough citizens to help us deal with our current financial problems. And since the bike lanes remove street parking, I am going to add a couple of parking lots here, I think. Now, it seems like our money problems they just won't go away. Okay, our financial problems are not going away. So, believe it or not, I'm actually going to decrease my taxes on the industrial buildings, which, is really not going to help. It will hopefully help with our industrial demand. We should see that start to go up. And the idea is that if we decrease it, we'll be able to build more buildings, or more people will want to come to our industry, and we should be able to hopefully just raise those taxes back up and make even more money. So let's bring that all the way down to 0. And wouldn't you know it, I was right. Oh, and it looks like we also have water facility overload. Let's increase our budget for water and sewage. There, that helps quite a bit. And then we're going to come here and add a bunch more industrial buildings. And we have another water issue. That's just great. Okay. What can we do about this? We could get a water pumping station going. We do have our sewage being handled through the water tower, so let's just get a little pumping station going, coming right here. And we'll add a little alleyway. Okay, well it says that it doesn't have enough electricity, but our water problem seems to be okay. So we're just going to leave it, and we are going to increase these taxes on industry once again, now that we have all these different buildings here, and that just completely removes our demand. Awesome. Now back to it. There is more medium density housing demand. I think we're going to remove, those were low density housing strips. I think we're going to remove it in favor of building up some more medium density houses. Oh, someone died in the fire. Oh, well, that's too bad. Rest in peace. Do we have a fire station? Do we have firefighters? We do not have any firefighters. I think we're going to go ahead and get some of those as well. Oh, and look at that. We are making a ton of money now. That was definitely the strat. So now I'm almost convinced that this as well should be medium density housing, but I think that I want to do something similar with the parking street here. Yeah, and then we can put some more medium density housing right there, and let's start placing our houses in. We can add a couple parks just like that right here. Let's take our little 2x2s right there. Does that? Nope, that won't allow it. We'll maybe even add another park in right there. Try to make it look like there's a reason for that gap being there other than the fact that I just kind of messed up the road. And now these row houses really aren't doing much of a dent in our medium density demand, so we're gonna come over here to the poor people area. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, they're all using it. That's awesome. We're going to come over here to the poor people area, and I think what we're going to do is add one of these little apartment things, if I'm even able to find it. Beautiful. So we'll do that. And we'll do something like that. Then maybe we'll even come in with platter right here, and we'll set up some beautiful French medium density houses right there. Now the good news is that we have a ton more housing demand, which is only going to bring us more money in the end. But the bad news is that I don't really know where to put it. So I think what I might even do here is remove this low density housing here. We'll keep this at the medium density row housing at just overall medium density housing. We might even mix it up a bit just to make it a little bit more visually appealing. We'll put some UK medium density housing here. And now we already were maxed out in terms of our low density demand, but that's only going to essentially worsen the scenario that we have on our hands here. So I'm thinking we need to start planning out for another residential area, which I think we could shove some low density housing right here, kind of near the industrial area. We'll put a small roundabout right here. Now this is fairly grid heavy. I do want to remove all the crosswalks that we have right here. And I think this should be good for some simple low density housing to start. And beautiful. That pretty much immediately helped us with our housing demand or housing crisis, and it looks like once again we are experiencing some traffic issues. Isn't that something? Wow, and there's a lot of people walking around here, which is pretty cool, I think. So let's start off by removing the crosswalks, because again, we don't want to have crosswalks on a roundabout or anywhere that's got a high traffic density, right? Now, how is everyone feeling about the area? They are upset about the walking distance to the elementary school, and I suppose that does make sense because now we have houses over here, and our elementary school over here. Our elementary school and our high school are doing just fine in terms of student population. So I think what we're going to do is get ourselves started with a bus depot. And I think the bus depot, honestly, it could go like right here maybe. Perfect. And let's get a little bus station set up, maybe near our commercial district. Maybe right next to the hospital. Sure, we'll call that good. And let's get some bus stops set up. We'll do the bus stops with the bicycle stands. We obviously want one next to the school and next to the high school. And we'll place one just in the little neighborhood area. Maybe we'll place one here at the shopping district. We'll place some over here near our medium density houses. And over here. One right here for when these houses do come in. One over by the office park. And these houses are close enough to this bus station. I don't know that we necessarily need to put one there. Let's also just put one maybe right here. I don't know how lazy are these people. I have no idea. And let's get our first... Oh, you know what? Let's also put some here at the industrial area. Beautiful. So let's get ourselves started with a bus line. I think that this bus is going to start here. So this isn't the smartest bus route. It does have some kind of turning around, going back, etc. But we're just gonna have to live with that. And I would like to get us started with another bus lane as well. I want this new bus lane to come and it will pick up those here at the small bus station. And it will take them all the way over to the industrial area. So now we have our two bus lines. Right here we have bus line 1. Where do you belong? You belong to bus line 2. So let's rename that industrial. Sorry, my cat's here really bothering me. We'll change that color to yellow. And we'll have to look for some of our blue buses. That's going to be homes and school. And we can just leave that blue for now. Beautiful. And it appears that we do actually have some we do have some traffic here, so that's excellent. I guess we can't do a one-way. So it seems like the traffic starts here. It's initially backed up over here. Then it comes all the way around. All the way around. All the way around. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I think we're actually going to end today's episode here. In next week's episode, we are going to deal with this traffic jam that we have here immediately. And we're going to decorate this little medium density area. I think do some decorating around the office park and maybe do some more decorating around the new industrial additions to our city. Once again, thank you so much for those of you who did watch. Please feel free to comment name suggestions for all the different districts that we currently have set up, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.